Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com. Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be here with Brian Grimes of 24/7 Cashflow University. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Let's go back in time just a little bit. How did you get started in the business?
Wow, I got started like a lot of us, just doing a FHA house hack, putting down 3.5% on a multifamily that I was going to live in the basement unit, which was like an illegal unit, and rent out the two above me. And just kind of got started, bootstrapping and learning from the school of hard knocks, getting burned by contractors, just, dealing with the hustle and bustle, and eventually worked my way into full gut renovation. And 300 full gut renovations later, here I am.
Well, I am sure there is a much longer version of that story that could probably be in a book if it isn't already. So let's talk a little bit about what you are up to now.
Right now, I'm working on a bunch of things. I mean, I do have my my mentorship program where I teach people how to get into real estate without cash and credit if they're struggling with that, or how to scale up through the BRRRR strategy, buy and flip, all those things. But I'm still building. I'm like a guy who's addicted to real estate. For me, it's God, family, real estate, and in that order. And that's kind of all I do all day. I'm probably building through about 15 properties right now, scattered site in multiple cities. I'm working on a residential assisted living building that I'm trying to do ground up. So I'm putting together the plans for that right now. So I'm always dabbling into multiple real estate investment strategies. I believe the market is constantly ebbing and flowing. So you need a lot of different strategies to stay on the top of your game and stay profitable and cash flowing.
Absolutely. So you've got your finger, as you mentioned, in a bunch of different pies. You went from the illegal basement unit, renting out the other two. So after that worked and you didn't get, the building inspector didn't kick you out of your basement and people paid their rent, what was the next property after that? How did the empire, so to speak, kind of expand?
Well, I think we all run into the debt to income ratio issue. So the next property was another multi, and that was like 25-30% down. And then the next property was a cosmetic renovation, and that was another multi. And then after a while, I'm just like, well, how much money do I have to park in the real estate to make this thing profitable? These deals are definitely cash flowing good money, but no matter who you are, if your strategy is to park capital in deals, you're going to run out of money at some point. So I started to get more into the BRRRR strategy, doing full gut renovations, buying properties in shell condition, and forcing appreciation to the level where I could take my money, put it in, and then refinance it all out at the end, hang on to the property and go do it again. And that strategy and teaming up with hard money lenders, community lenders, different construction lenders, that's what allowed me to scale to the point where I think in 2016, I probably did 8 to 16 deals. The next year I did 35. The next year I did 68. The next year I did 150. So once you have the lenders behind you and you have the teams and the contractors and some experience, you can really scale to infinite levels.
Well, that's absolutely incredible. You sounded like you had some geometric progression there. It wasn't 1 to 2 to 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about, because obviously the first deal is the scariest.
Definitely.
Talk about how you're able to expand your mindset from I did one and I am paying the mortgage and maybe making myself a few bucks every month to a couple of years later when it was, I'm going to do 150 deals in a year? How do you manage that?
Yeah, I think from a mindset standpoint, I mean, people ask me, should I be thinking bigger about real estate? What was your goal, Brian? Knowing that I've done over 300 deals. And it's like, look, when I started, I wanted to do one deal a year for 10 years. And that was my goal. And in 7 years, I did 300. So I started off really small. I think when you keep expanding your comfort zone, after a while, it gets stretched so far that you kind of develop this attitude of, I can put out any fire, throw it in front of me. I've accomplished so much. I've done things that I didn't think I could do. You stop believing that real estate will present you with an unsolvable problem. You just start to believe that no matter what it throws at me, I'll figure it out. I figured out things that I didn't believe I could solve before. And once you develop that mindset, you will take on bigger challenges. Also, it gets easier because the construction crews, the lenders, the faces become the same, the architects, engineers. So it becomes easier to scale with the same people as you find what I call like your A team. You're literally like assembling the A team and iterating. And then once you get it, the job is to keep them busy. So your job is to put as many deals in front of them as they can stomach, and maybe even a little bit more, so that there's always more food to eat at the end of the day. And then you'll just scale organically.
And you mentioned something about the team. You've built yourself quite a network. Talk a little bit about how you did that and how you vetted those folks and how you now, work with them.
Yeah, I think contractor vetting, it's a skill set that most don't teach. I definitely teach it, and I have a series of like contractor interview questions that I will take these contractors through, but they're all based on construction experience. So most people, they'll hire a contractor, they don't even ask them, hey, do you have your own tools? Like things like this that will tell you if this person considers themselves to be a professional or an amateur. A professional always has their own tools. If you ask them, well, how long is it going to take to sheetrock the house, to drywall the house? And they start telling you, oh, it's going to take 3 weeks. And you know that it takes 2 days to hang, 2 days to tape and sand, spackle, let it dry for a day, come back, resand it, and it's ready for paint. You know it takes a week. When you have to start asking the right questions. So there's that iteration where you're constantly interviewing and getting referrals from existing contractors, but then screening them, testing them, seeing if they can perform at what I would call like game speed, the speed of construction that is profitable. There's fast construction that is done accurately, that's profitable. And then there's really slow, sloppy construction that is not profitable. So if they can play at that game speed, then you keep them on the team. If they can't, you have to iterate and find new people and just do whatever it takes. But over the course of time, if you pay contractors on time and you do the right thing, the best contractors, wherever you're at, they'll find you because the word gets out to the best people. And then they're kind of watching from the sidelines to see if you're going to pay and do these things. And then they'll come to your team.
Awesome. And how did you get the idea to get into real estate in the first place?
My best friend, we grew up together, playing basketball together. He got in, he was a little bit older than me, and he was reading books and got into like Section 8 investing, buying a single family, put a little bit of money into them, Section 8 them. And I was at Columbia University at the time. He came up to visit, and we're at like one of the college bars, and he just pulls out a stack of 20s. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I'm a broke college kid. And he's like, oh man, it was rent day, man. And I'm like, oh, I got to get a piece of that. That's what I got to get into. So I knew once I graduated, no matter what I was doing, I was going to save my money and get a rental property or two or three or however many I could get, because I wanted that cash flow that I saw him getting his hands on.
That makes a lot of sense. At what point did you get the idea to start not just doing this for yourself, but to start helping others?
I think it was after I went back into Philly where I'm from. I built over 250 houses there at the time. And I took a step back because it all happened so fast. Like I said, that 1 year was like 150 of them. And you're just like, whoa, what is going on here? So I had to take a step back and say, well, how can I have more impact? I'm all about community building, rebuilding C-class neighborhoods, helping low-income families and low-income housing and affordable housing, all these things. How can I have more impact? And the answer was, one, I could go build another 250 houses or 1,000 houses myself, or I could build 1,000 developers from across the country that could go back into their communities and rebuild their neighborhoods and their communities. So I wanted to have more of a national impact. And the best way for me to do it was to kind of spread the knowledge out and build more relationships with other developers who could then rebuild their communities, because it's not just about making money, it's about the circulation of money within the micro economy. So you're hiring local contractors, they're putting food on their table and feeding their family, and the money's just circulating around the community. So it just has such a massive win-win-win impact that I just wanted to be a part of that.
That is beautiful. I love the ripple effect that you're generating. Talk a little bit about what 24/7 Cashflow University does.
So what we do is we build you up from a novice to, a professional investor. So we teach 6 core strategies. We'll teach buy and flip, the BRRRR strategy, creative financing, so how to invest without cash or credit, how to go to the auctions, tax liens, tax certs. We essentially give you a well-rounded structure so that you can navigate the market. The market's always ebbing and flowing. So a strategy that works today won't work tomorrow. So if you don't have multiple strategies, you're just going to fail out of the business, like most people do. So we focus on that. And then we have a boots on the ground program that, I will build houses for my mentees, essentially. So we have people from all over the country that are in that. And I'm building houses for them in Philly, either buy and flip or rental properties, buy and hold BRRRR strategy deals, where we help you to find them. We build them with our in-house crews at the cost of construction, connect you with the lenders. We have 100% lenders that'll give you 100% of the money to buy and renovate. And we have people in from all over the country, literally like all the way out in Hawaii, all the way down south, people in Canada. We got a guy in from New Zealand. So we're like even international with people tapping into US real estate through the mentorship program. And the claim to fame, we'll say, is, I work with my people one-on-one. I'm not the guy that has like this huge group course and there's 1,000 people in it and I don't know anybody. I work with my people one-on-one because I believe 90% of people don't get results from group courses. They get value from one-on-one mentorship. And I want to be a part of that solution, even though it's harder in terms of, the time demand on me. The results for the people are phenomenal. So I just want to do what helps people directly and gives them the most value.
That is absolutely incredible. How have you managed to get the word out about 247?
I'm always one to take the Pepsi challenge and just reinvent myself, right? So I taught myself, marketing, like how I got into a couple courses. So I always preach, get into courses, get into mentorship programs. I got into some for YouTube ads, Facebook ads, and kind of all these things. And I learned how to program all of my ads and get them out and target and do all that stuff. And I just kind of built it all organically from the ground up. And that's how the outreach goes. I just educate. I put out good content that's educational for people. I do it my way. I'm not standing in front of a Lamborghini. There's no flash here. That's just not who I am at my core. So I'm just knowledge-based. I will teach you everything that you need to get to the next level. And as I put that out there into the algorithm, essentially, it's just brought back the right people who are looking for financial freedom and are doing this for their last name and their family, not for their first name.
That's beautiful. You are started out in the real estate business. You're now also in the education business as well. What's next?
I don't know. I believe the main things to keep the main thing is one of my family mantras, and it's just more the same. I mean, this is the gift that's keeps giving. I found that in doing the coaching and the mentorship, it keeps me locked in at a higher level, because people are like waiting for me. Can Brian go out and get his hands in residential assisted living facilities and then bring back that education and that knowledge to us? So it kind of pushes me further. It keeps me even more excited about real estate. So I'm just looking for more of the same. I'm going to keep building until I drop, and I'm going to keep spreading the word about financial freedom through real estate, because it's America. Wealth is transferred and built through real estate here. So a lot of the underserved communities, they're underserved and they can't get ahead because they lack knowledge of real estate. That is the number one problem. So I'm here to be a part of that solution.
Awesome. And with all the success you've been able to achieve, not just for yourself, but for your students as well, then what's your biggest challenge now?
I think my biggest challenge is just serving everybody. Like it's the demands can definitely weigh on you. I tell people, I'm like, get into the mentorship program now, because the price goes up, not because of me, but it's like there's just so much demand and I can't serve everyone one-on-one. So I think it's just keeping up with my people, continuing to build, just continuing to scale and train, because I don't do this alone. I have a team of virtual assistants I have a team of people, boots on the ground. I have great people around me. So it's really just continuing to iterate and free up more time to help more people. Like that is the challenge. That's kind of what I obsess over is how can I free up time and hire better people so I can serve more and just stay within that energy and that element.
Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I'm a real estate junkie, man. It's like a gym rat, like a guy who just can't stop lifting. Like I'm just addicted to real estate. So I get to wake up. What I love the most is I can schedule my day. I can wake up. First thing I do, meditate, get right, clear my head, no thought, walk my kid to school, family, go work out at the park, whether it's 20 degrees or 100 degrees outside. I'm outside doing calisthenics at the park. I got to get that fresh air and that clarity. And then real estate. So I get to live my dream lifestyle. My dream lifestyle is not a Lamborghini, is not a yacht. That's just not my dream, right? My dream is financial freedom and spending time doing what I love. And that's what I get to do all day. So I just stay surrounded by that. And, that's what I love. I love the freedom. I don't have to sit at a desk all day. I don't have to be trapped in that lifestyle. So it's a blessing. And that's why I'm happy to just keep, giving back and try to get more people free from that matrix.
That is awesome. Well, we know your time's incredibly valuable. We greatly appreciate you spending some with us. For our folks watching or listening, where is the best place for them to go learn more about Brian Grimes and about the mentorship program?
We have about 13,000 subs on YouTube. You can find me on Brian Loves Cash Flow on YouTube. That's easy to remember because I love cash flow. On Instagram, Brian Grimes _247 CFU for the 24/7 Cash Flow University. LinkedIn, Brian Grimes Real Estate. You can Google Brian Grimes Explains, and you'll find a lot of my content. That all backtracks to a free real estate training that I put together for you guys on www.workwithgrimes.com/cashflow, workwithgrimes.com/cashflow. It's a free real estate training that'll show you how to acquire properties for pennies on a dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer.
Awesome. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Brian Grimes from Cashflow University. Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.